This is One-on-One.
Brought to you by the New Jersey Education Association.
Hi, Steve Adubato here at NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology, talking all about innovation. Talk about an innovator. Check this guy out. He is Dick Sweeney, co-founder of Keurig and the vice chairman of NJIT's Albert Dorman Honors College Board. Good to see you, Dick.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, you said, when I was talking about this company, Keurig, I said, do people mispronounce the name? And what did you say?
I said, any way they pronounce it, as long as they buy the product, it's fine.
The story of Keurig coming to market, getting to market, fascinating. Talk about it.
Well, the company was founded in 1993. I joined about 6 months after it was founded as a co-founder, investor, advisor. In fact, I was going to meet the original two owners and tell them the appliance business is lousy. Fold your tents and find a real job.
I'm looking at a photo right there.
What? Yeah, no. Well, the guy on the right, Peter Dragone, is one of the original founders. Chris Stevens in the center was our first VP of sales and marketing. He came on afterwards. And that was me when I was less follically challenged.
Love it, love it. What did you see at the time?
I saw what intrigued me was the fact that they weren't going into the consumer appliance world with another coffee machine. They weren't going to be in the next Mr. Coffee, at least not then. They were focused on the office coffee service market, which when we first met on a dark and stormy night at the Ground Round in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, I think it was the first time I heard the phrase office coffee service.
Office
coffee service.
Wow.
People that serve, sell the coffee machines in the offices and the coffee in the frac packs and the cups and napkins and tchotchkes and everything that goes with it. When I took a look at it, it was about a $2.7 billion industry that was devoid of any real innovation and looking for something new. At the same time, again, going back 23, 24 years ago, people were starting to queue up at Starbucks to spend twice as much for a cup of coffee that they could get at Dunkin' Donuts or someplace else for half the
Yeah, join the club.
Right.
I got to get out of that thing, but that's another story.
And then we thought, well, when they go to the office, what are they drinking? They're back to the stuff that's been sitting in a pot for a half hour and getting terrible. And the conclusion was that the only way to ensure a fresh cup of coffee is to brew it as you consume it, 1 cup at a time. So
brew it as you consume
it, 1 cup at a time. Coffee stales at about 20 minutes after you brew it. So
hold on a second. But the idea of this, putting the coffee in here.
Right. Well, if you're going to brew it as you consume it, then you're going to need a portion pack system. And there were portion pack systems in Europe. The Nespresso predated us, Kenco, Flavia, they all predated us. But they had been European systems designing coffee for a short cup,
so you get a little
6 ounce
espresso,
max.
A single or a double.
Right.
Different. This is different.
We were looking for a minimum of an 8-ounce cup to start, and we've been able to refine the product to where we can confidently deliver 14 or 16 ounces.
The original prototype, what did it look like? Did it look like this?
Well, if you think of the architecture of the system, you have the portion pack, you have the appliance, and then you have packaging automation that's behind the curtain that's making, at the time, tens of thousands, now billions of K-cups a year. So you have to get these 3 elements of the architecture in sync.
Talk about innovation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. You're constantly innovating to get it right.
Yep.
When did you know?
We're still doing that.
Still, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
I love how people say, we're where we want to be, and that's where we're going to stay, and you're going to lose at that point.
Right.
So that being said, the time period, if you could, Dick, between when you really thought you had something special and then getting to the market, the office market, that you really needed to get to.
Right. So that was from essentially 93 until 1998.
What happens in 98?
98, we got the first Keurig appliances to a level of reasonable reliability and stability.
Those are the early ones?
Well, no, that was the very, very first prototype.
Okay.
Those are the ones we had 3 of those, and we took them around to venture capitalists trying to raise money, which was...
Did they jump on it immediately?
Back in 93, everybody was a .com something. So if we were Keurig.com, they would have thrown money at you. So we're coming in with, hey, we've got a great way to make a cup of coffee out of a salad dressing cup.
And they're
they
saying-
said, you're nuts. You know, how far removed from reality can you be?
They didn't see it.
No, no. Well, finally we had a couple that did, but it wasn't love at first sight.
Wow. Help us on this. When it first gets into the offices, is it a hit immediately?
Yes, that was the great part, because people would look at it and try and understand what to do with it. I mean, one of the early educational points we had was people, you know, any self-serving American will look at a plastic cup with a foil lid and say, I've got to remove this.
Yes.
And
So
now
that's,
they're looking
they don't
at,
understand. It goes right in. You do
Right.
not take it off.
Yeah, do not.
And then the machine does with the.
Right.
That
Now
was
it brews
that
it.
was tough.
Yeah,
But what happens when they realize I don't have to do anything? They loved it.
they loved it. And and to this day, people that experience it for the first time, it's a wow factor. Wow, this thing works. And the aroma is fresh, and it delivers a great taste. So there are a lot of reasons. The sales and marketing teams, I've always been on the operations side. The sales and marketing teams will tell you that it's their wonderment that grew the company. My personal opinion is that we've gotten the American consumer used to drinking a fresh cup of coffee every time. And once you get used to fresh anything, you can't go back.
Someone says, well, how long has that coffee been in that pot? A couple hours.
Forget it.
Forget
Start
it.
washing it.
Go from the office market
Yeah.
to the home market.
Right.
Talk about that.
Okay, well, that was a big transition. Started to think about it seriously in 2002. We made a couple of prototype machines, did some test marketing. One of the things we found is that if we could get the cost of the appliance down, we could sell more of them. And then how do we really reduce the cost while maintaining and improving the reliability of the appliance? So we put a big effort into that. We had an event that took place within the company where somebody had tried a hostile takeover. We had a white knight come in. We had an infusion of cash, and we were able to build out the organization.
Somebody tried to take the company over?
Yeah. Separate story.
Got it.
Yeah. In fact, I just helped facilitate a case study at the Tuck Business School at Dartmouth.
Is that right?
Discussing just this point.
Well, so go on. At home, is it it's smaller?
It's smaller. Yep.
Did it hit immediately at home, in homes?
Yes, it did. It did. Well, you have to understand, there was pent-up demand from office workers.
Hey, I got it in my office. Can I have it in my
why can't I get this thing at home? Right. Exactly.
And by the way, talk about the economics of this. Listen, I'm not here to sell your company. We're
Right.
PBS. We don't do that. And even though I will say we have it in our caucus. Jen Eichlin, don't we have this in our caucus education? I noticed.
I have to leave if you don't. So
No. See, but I'll tell you what. I also know that it's probably cheaper.
what's that?
The idea that that's the way you're going to consume your coffee.
Yes. It's on a cup-for-cup
Economies of
basis.
scale.
Yeah, economies of scale, and the fact that what you brew, you're consuming. You're not making a pot
wasting.
and throwing half a pot away, right? So if you go through the whole life cycle analysis, it's pretty beneficial.
Before I get out of here, describe your role here at the New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Well, I was recruited by Joel and
Joel Bloom, Dr. Joel Bloom, president.
right? And
You're an alum?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a pro night school after coming back from the Vietnam, and then
Got it.
I got probational acceptance, and made it 8.5 years later, got my degree.
Got it. So what's the connection here now?
Well, as the vice chairman of the Dorman Honors College Board of Visitors, we helped develop the strategy, work with the Honors College administration to help them raise money, look at the strategy, recruit and maintain a high caliber of students, which has improved every year in the last 20 years since I've been affiliated with
Final
the board.
question. Great, important advice for budding innovator entrepreneur is?
Persistence. Build great teams and persistence.
Persistence,
Right.
including dealing with rejection.
Absolutely. So,
Part of the game, isn't it?
yeah. Well, what's been fun, though, as I look back over 23 years, is that I've had the opportunity to help incubate something that's created jobs. So that's pretty cool.
Nothing better than that.
Right.
Dick Sweeney is co-founder of Keurig and also the vice chairman of NJIT, Albert Dorman Honors College Board. Thank you, Dick. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well done. Stay right
Appreciate
there.
it.
Stay right there. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
We're having a cup of coffee. Be right back right after this.
As an educator, it's all about connections. You're not just in the classroom, you're part of the community. You meet these tiny kids every year and you help them learn and grow. But you also get to know the families, and over the years they become a part of your life and you become a part of theirs. When you build those connections, you can accomplish some pretty amazing things. I'm Jackie Kruzik, and I'm proud to be a New Jersey educator.
Also brought to you by NJM and by Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey.